Hey friends, Wanda here. Hey, are we ready to make our fire cider? I got all my goodies. I hope you have. I gave you a few days to get it all together. Okay, we're going to start this morning. And I'm just going to go over the ingredients that I'm going to be using for my fire cider this year. As you know, fire cider is a great way to boost your immune system all through the winter and into the spring. You can start right now as soon as it's ready. Most people start it in the fall while the seasons are, changing. And then that way they have it ready by the end of fall, or at least by Thanksgiving. And then they can start taking a slug, and they can take it, as a shot. They can incorporate it in their salad dressings or use it as a dressing. They can mix it with water. Ever how they want to do it. They can make a hot toddy with it. It just depends on how they want to consume the fire cider. There's no one way. It just depends on the individual. I tend to either put it on my salad or just take a shot. Because mine is pretty well, you can use it with or without raw honey. Of course, without raw honey, it's going to be a little bit more pungent, okay, a little bit more fiery. The honey helps evaporate some of the waters, from your citrus and your onions and whatever else you decide to put into your fire cider. And then the honey tends to help offset that real pungent taste and give it a more smoother sweetness to it, so that you can enjoy it a little more. So we are going to I'm going to go over the list of what I'm going to be putting in to my my fire cider this year. Each year I tend to do it a little different because there's so many ways that you can make fire cider. And you normally just make sure you get your warming and the vitamin C citruses into, and your antioxidants into your blend. You get those and then you got it. You're ready to go. You can add things. You can okay, well, this year I liked it that way, but I think I want, I don't think I like it as hot. So you might want to, back off on some of the warming, or maybe, not put so many hot peppers, or maybe eliminate the hot pepper. It just depends on your overall tolerance for the fire cider. So I'm going to get my list, and I hope you have yours. I hope you made a list of the ingredients that you're going to be putting in your jar. Now look, my jar here is a half gallon. Whether I get it filled or not, I don't care about that. I just want room. You can use a quart jar, okay, if you want to start small. Just take your ingredients that you have, size it down, okay, for it to fit in a quart jar. You should start either with a quart or higher, because of all the ingredients that you have. You got your jar needs to have space for it to infuse and get ready over the next 4 weeks. And it does take 4 weeks for your fire cider to get done. So try to remember that. We are almost here at the end of October. So Mine will be ready the week after Thanksgiving, which is right at a good time. I can start. Well, right now I take elderberries. You can take your elderberry syrup. But, and if you can't do elderberry syrup or get elderberry syrup, because I understand, elderberries are expensive. And if you don't grow them yourself or can't get them or to make it yourself, elderberry can be expensive. So this is a great alternative to, to be able to boost your immune all winter if you cannot get to the elderberry. You can take it every day just like you would elderberry. So we're going to need our big jar. This is a 1/2 gallon jar, by the way. And this is what I'm going to use today just because I have quite a few ingredients that I'm going to be putting in mine. Your list can be, 6 or 8 items. It could be 10 or 15 items. All depends on how much you want to layer into your jar. So, okay, let me move this over. This is my chopper, my Videla Chop Wizard. I'll be using that to chop the onions and, when we get to that part. So we'll be taking a little break once we go through the ingredients and of what we're going to be doing. And then we'll take a break and get it all together, come back on, and then we'll start making our cider. Okay, so my cider today is what we're going to be using. A couple of these things are, in my opinion, is a must-have, okay? And your 2 must-haves, in my opinion, would be your horseradish root, okay? Now, if you're going to make a big jar like that, you could do 2 of these horseradish roots, which you will have to peel. One in a little bit. They're kind of big. So we're going to take our peeler. You'll need a peeler. You're going to peel all that brown off. And then you can, and it's pretty hard to cut. So if you want to use your food processor in your kitchen, if you have a food processor or a shredder of any type, once you get all that peeled and, washed, of course, we'll want to shred our, or chop it, ever how you can get it. I'm going to be shredding mine. You'll want to do this horseradish root. And I have a long piece and a shorter piece. So I'm going to use both of these today. So you need your horseradish root. That's a must-have. And then, let me just move some of this out of my way. It's in my way this morning. I put everything in my bowl so you could see. Now, you can use a yellow onion. I choose to use a red onion. Red is a little bit more kick to it. It opens you up more. And then if you have that head cold going on or that allergy and then sinus affection, this type of onion, the red onion, is gonna open you up, and allow you to be able to breathe more. So we will be going with one large red onion, okay? And then you can get, for our citruses that we're going to use, we're going to use a lemon. I have 2 lemon, 2 lime, and 2 oranges, just because of my jar size. If you were just using a quart, then by all means just use 1 of each. But we have these were already washed. Our orange, just a regular orange, and a lime. So you're going to need your 3 citruses, okay? We're not using any grapefruit because grapefruit interferes with some people's medications. So we're not going to, these don't tend to do anything as far as that, but the grapefruit tends to, interfere. So we're not putting grapefruit in, but so you'll need orange, lemon, and a lime. We will also need ginger, a nice size piece of ginger root, raw ginger root, okay? We will probably just shred that too. You need 1 large full garlic. So you can open up all these cloves. We'll need all the cloves. 1 large garlic. Now, as far as heat-wise, the ginger, the horseradish, the onion, okay, is already warming, okay? The horseradish, very warming. The ginger, kind of mild to medium, very soothing. It's kind, because when you drink ginger tea, it's rather soothing. It's good for your throat and your digestion and just, to be able to open you. And horseradish is pungent. It sticks right to you and get you clear, get your your nose open so you can breathe. And so those, and then of course the onion is aiding in all of those. So it's up to you if you want to add a jalapeno pepper, okay? We are going to add a few, I don't know if we'll add the whole thing. Seeds and all, the seeds is what makes it hot, okay? If you didn't want it very, very hot, but you do want it in there, just scrape out some of the seeds, and then you could do it that way. If you don't want it that hot, and you think the horseradish and, the onion and the garlic and ginger is going to be warming enough, you can skip putting in the jalapeno. It's up to you. But we are going to put some in ours. Now, some other additives that you may want to add. This is what we are going to be adding today. We are going to be adding, now those ingredients that I just went over before we start adding other beneficial things that could help and aid your fire cider. This was our base, pretty much. Your citrus, your onion, your garlic, your pepper, your ginger, and your horseradish. That's pretty much your starting at your base for your fire cider. Anything over and above that are just an added boost that you're making in your fire cider blend. So these items that we're going to go over now are going to be additional blended into our fire cider. So we'll be adding in some, and these will be organic as possible. So we're going to be adding in our cranberries. These are fresh cranberries. I saved these from, the rest are in the freeze dryer, because we're freeze drying some. But I saved enough for the fire cider. Cranberries are full of antioxidants. They're great for the bladder and the kidneys and keeping yourself, flushed. And especially if you're sick and you need to you need that boost of antioxidants in the cranberries. Good for your overall inside. So, this would be a great addition that you could help the fire cider And cranberries aren't that pungent, but they do have a beautiful color, and it may color your cider a different color when you're done. But cranberries, as you know, are great source for antioxidants and for the bladder and kidney, and just for your overall health, digestion. So we're going to be adding some cranberries. Now we will be adding turmeric root. Now you can do it in a powder if you don't have turmeric. They did not have turmeric root, like you do your ginger root. I really wanted, the actual root, but they did not have that. But I do have my organic turmeric root that's, dried. So we will be using turmeric root. Let me just show you. And it's pretty much cut and sifted all the way, and it's small. Just be careful how you handle turmeric. It likes to dye your fingers orange. So if you want to, wear gloves, little plastic gloves, you can. But it wears off eventually. But it does tend to do your hands orange. So, of course, turmeric is great for inflammation. It's anti-inflammatory, so it's great for targeting the inflammation in your body. And it's just an overall health booster when incorporated with some black pepper. Black pepper enhances it. So you definitely want, it adds the added heat also to the other warming base herbs and fruits that we're going to be using. So black pepper and turmeric go together hand in hand. So if you're going to put turmeric, add a couple tablespoons. If you're doing a big jar, a tablespoon or two to your fire cider. It will help boost the turmeric all together. So we're going to be using turmeric root and ground black pepper. Okay, and then we will be adding dried elderberries. Elderberries come in the summer, fresh. You can either freeze them at the time if you don't use them all, or you can get them dried. We have them both. I have them froze and dried. So today, I will be adding this year, to help boost my fire cider even more, I am going to be adding in some of our elderberries. So, what a good way, which in the vinegar, anything that you have dried will reconstitute in the liquid when we add the apple cider vinegar. Okay, so we will be adding our elderberries to give us that woohoo boost for our immunity. Okay, then we have, I think they only have a few more things. Then we have rosemary, dried rosemary. You can use fresh, but I have dried, and I'm going to use my dried rosemary. Rosemary is so opening. It smells wonderful. It has that aroma. It has that astringent. It has the antioxidants in it, antibacterial. It helps just with your overall gut, and it aids in all of that with your digestion, and it helps fight bacteria. So who would not want some little bit of rosemary? So we're going to be adding a little bit of our rosemary to our fire cider. This is optional. You do not have to. But, I would say either rosemary, thyme, or even a little bit of sage, if you wanted to, one or the other. You know, some people put rosemary and thyme. Some people put just rosemary. Some people just use thyme. Some people put all three. So it depends on what. They are all great herbs to add in. So, but today we're going to be using rosemary. I love rosemary. Rosemary is a beautiful, beautiful herb, and she has so much wonderful properties to your overall head, from your head all the way down. She just inside and out. She makes you feel really good. So we're going to definitely be using rosemary. So the only other couple things you're going to have is, of course, your apple cider vinegar. Now, please use organic. And of course, you know Broggs makes a really good apple cider vinegar. It has the mother. That's what you want, the one with the mother, like that. Or any other type of organic, as long as it's raw. This is a nice one. See the mother down in there? This one's organic, and I love the jug. So I get to reuse my jug for later. So this is what, you'll just give it a good shake before we use it. And so either, you know, as long as it's organic, I don't really care about the brand person, but you want a good raw apple cider vinegar, unfiltered. Okay, that's the main thing. You want that mother. That's where all the goodness is and all the medicine. So, and then, lastly, is our honey. You have to have, you don't have to, remember I told you in the beginning, whether or not you would want to add honey in the end. We will not be adding the honey today. We will wait you can. Some people add it right in with the rest of their ingredients. However, I wait till the end of when we're straining and we've already got all of our juice out. Then I add my honey, and then I stir, taste. This way, if you add it before, you have no idea. And I think you lose a lot of your honey. Even though it does help absorb the water content, you know, that's a great thing. But it also is all into your fruit and herbs. And, you know, that gets composted out. But, so I'm going to add my honey, my wildflower raw from our bees. We're going to add ours at the end. But you can choose whatever you want. But we're going to do it at the end. So first thing, and then the only thing you would need else is your wax pieces of paper. This is to go on top of your lid when we're all done. Okay, you're going to take your lid off. I brought two because I wasn't sure how big it was going to be. And then you're going to put that just like that. If this was a metal lid, you wouldn't want your metal. But still put it on, and then this helps protect from the vinegar if you had a metal lid, or the plastic. So we just put this on to help protect the lid. So this is what we're going to be adding when we're done filling our jar. Okay, well, this is our list, and I don't know how much of my list matches your list. I did give you a list of good items that you could pick from. Most of it's pretty basic, you know, as far as the fruits and, you know, that base part. But hopefully you'll be adding some really good extra antioxidants and some inflammatory, like turmeric, or, you know, some elderberry or some rosemary, add some black pepper, maybe some cranberries. So what we're going to do now is we need to go, we'll take a little break. We'll go go to our kitchens, peel our onions, our garlics, our shred up our ginger and our horseradish root, and then we'll save the rest to do when we come back. And do your onion, chop up your onion. But we could do the slicing of the fruit and the jalapeno pepper and the rest of the ingredients when we come back. So, okay, get out there into your kitchen, take your bowl, and get peeling and shredding. And we'll be back in a little bit. Phew, we got all that ready to go, didn't we? Phew, that took a little bit to do, but you know what? The worst one was it the onion or the horseradish? The horseradish. Woo, my eyes were watering. Oh my gosh. But yeah, we got her done. So hopefully you got all your stuff grated, shredded, chopped, all except for the fruit and the peppers, which we'll do, because they usually don't take long, and you can pretty much do them pretty quickly. So we got our ginger all shredded, our onions are all chopped, and our horseradish. Oh my gosh, that's potent. And the ginger cloves, which we'll cut them in half, just to get them opened, and so they'll be activated pretty much like you would your ginger or your horseradish. You want to get it, cut it open. So, all right. So, hey, we hope you're ready to go, because we're going to get our jar. Hope you got a funnel, because I did forget to tell you to get a funnel. So if you didn't get a funnel, hurry up and go in there and grab your funnel. One with the big holes. It's going to make it a lot easier to get in your jar versus trying to use your hand in the jar, especially if you're not doing a big jar and you're only doing a quart jar. Now, you're going to take your ingredients and we're just going to layer them, okay? And you can layer them in any form that you want to. You can go along with me if you don't have that particular ingredient. Then you can just skip that one, wait, and then we'll just go on to the next. But before we start loading the jar, we need to go ahead and cut up our citruses. So I'm going to put some of this to the side, so we won't need that right at the moment. And I won't need my spoon. But, so we're going to just slide some of this out of the way, because I need to cut up my, ginger clove. I mean, your garlic cloves. If you cut your whole clove, got it all peeled, you're going to take them and cut those in half. So you want to do that. So put them close to you. If you didn't already. Phew, I think I'm going to move that over to there. Phew. That horseradish is on it, man. It's organic. I get it from, because, we can't get horseradish root local. Nowhere. So I am going to try to grow it myself. So I did get, and I'm going to freeze dry some of the, because I got 2 pounds from the lady. She grows it organically. And so I ordered it last year from her too, because she has beautiful horseradish root. And so I really would like to, grow some, so to be able to offer. So I'll have it. But until I get to that point, but this lady makes and grows it right there, and it's beautiful horseradish root. I think it's Country Creek. She has a wonderful, and it's pretty reasonable. So, okay, so let's You'll need your cutting board, okay? And get you a big bowl, okay? That way, as we slice, you can just throw it in your bowl, okay? It's all going to get mixed up anyway, so it doesn't matter, okay? So, whether you're doing one, make sure all your citrus was cleaned. You know, of course, everything needs to be washed, okay? So we are going to put this to this right here. We're going to do 3. I'm doing both because my jar is so big. Okay? And then I'll do my my pepper. Ooh, that'll not be fun. All right? All right, let me dump that on here. I don't want that in there. Just give me a minute. Sometimes you gotta put the yuck stuff on the paper towel. There we go. We want to have a clean bowl, right? We don't want anything off. I think it came off my my knife, or I don't know. Might have been the ginger. Oh, when I had it all in the bowl, probably the ginger and the horseradish root. So we're gonna take our bowl and set it right there, and we're gonna just start. I think I'm gonna start with the orange. Okay, so if you got your orange, you're going to take the end and everything. You're just going to take it and slice and put it in your bowl. So do your orange. Here we go, girls. Guys. Watch your fingers. Okay? Beautiful orange. Isn't that beautiful? Now, if you don't want to leave them in slices, you can quarter them afterwards. But I'm just going to leave mine in a slice. Just for the video's sake. Last year, I think I quartered them. Okay, look at that. Look at those beautiful slice. Yes. Okay, we're going to take our other orange. Same. And if you don't get it all the way, that's okay. It'll all get mixed in. You don't need them too thin. And you don't want them real thick. So like kind of in between. Kind of like that, you know, medium. If you can, you know. See, sometimes you miss. But hey, you still get it in there. Just watch your fingers. Here we go. That way, what I'm going to do is put it all in one corner. Now we're going to do the lemon. I'm going to turn my bowl. And then we're going to do the lemon. Whatever you do, don't touch your eyes. I know I'm not, especially after handling that horseradish. Woo, baby, that would burn. Nice and juicy, this. Okay, lemon. The longest part of making the fire cider is getting all the ingredients ready. But it's so worth it at the end. It is very time consuming, so if you girls or guys that are making your fire cider, make sure you have a couple hours to cut up all your, get all your ingredients. This is why, it's kind of important you make your list of ingredients, of how much, things you want to put in your, into your cider. So that way, you'll know roughly, oh my, it's going to take a while. It's going to take me an hour. It's going to take me 2 hours. This is why I suggest you use your food processor, chopper, whatever you got to help you, aid you to make the process even quicker for you. Okay, we're on to the lime now, girls, fellas. Slice up your limes. Whether it's 1 lime, 2 limes, whatever you're using for your jar. Okay. Isn't that some pretty? Man, it smells good already. Oh, my phone's going off. It's okay. The machine will get it. All right, we get our lime, and then we'll be able to chop up our pepper and then our garlic. So we're almost there.
Hi, you've reached Wanda and Billy, and we are
Sorry about my phone. My answer machine's going off. Hopefully you'll
You can call my cell.
it won't be long. So okay, look at that. That is beautiful. Now I'm just going to take a paper towel and soak up some of this juice so don't run on top of my have paper towels handy so you can get some of that juice. There you go. Get that out of the way. Okay, now that we have our beautiful blend of citrus, now we can go on, and I think we're going to do the garlic first and then say the pepper last, and then I can put it right in there with the garlic. I don't think it's going to hurt. Okay, so we're just going to take our garlic. Remember, that was that whole big clove of garlic, okay? So all we're going to do is cut them in half. To open it up, get it going so the juice and the vinegar can get inside of the garlic to release the garlic throughout the blend. If you got a really big clove, you can do them in 3s. Some of them are kind of huge, so we'll cut those in 3s. But for the main part, we just have to cut them in half. Woo! And then they'll be ready to go. There, that didn't take long at all. Okay, back in your bowl is your chopped up garlic. Now, the only thing we're going to cut off, we're not going to put the stem in there. So we're going to cut that right off, and we'll throw that piece in the compost. Now, if you want to use all of this, you can. It's just 1. Now, if you like it hot, by all means, you can use 1 or 2, but don't overdo, because you have the warming from your horseradish, ginger, and onions. So you really don't need to overdo the warming part of your fire cider. You don't want to be blowing it out your ears, in other words. So be moderate in you'll still taste it, believe me. So if you're doing a quart, I would do, maybe half of a pepper. That should be fine, unless you like it, really hot, and then you could do that. But so, being my jar is a big jar, I am going to do the whole jar, or do the whole pepper. So, just going to slice them up. Seeds and all. Okay? Because all the heat is from your seeds. And I am just going to share the bowl with the garlic. I'm going to put it right in there with the garlic. and those little 3 seeds that fell off. We want all the seeds, right? Okay, so we have our garlic and our peppers, our horseradish, our onions, and our ginger. And then, of course, we have our fruit. So now all we got to do is get our ingredients all close to us, and get our jar, and now we're going to be ready. And I'm going to remove my, going to put my knife and my cutting board to the side because I really don't need that right now. It'll give me more room. Now that we're all done chopping and preparing. Okay, let me wipe my hands. Woo, that was fun, wasn't it? All right, I am going to put a clean paper towel down for my jar so if I do spill, you know, it'll be good. Okay, so you need your funnel. Get your funnel and your jar. Whatever size you're using, take the lid off, set it to the side, okay? Here you go, girls. All right, I'm going to set this to the side so you'll be able to see. I want you guys to be able to see it. Okay, put your funnel on. The first one that we're going to put in my jar, like I said, you can do it in any form that you want, but if you want to follow along, this is how we're going to go with the horseradish first. And if you got a spoon, try to use a spoon so it won't be on your hands too much. So in goes the horseradish. And you will see pieces, bigger pieces, and it's okay. The majority of it did get shredded, so. Man, this is some potent stuff. So you know, if this is opening up my eyes, that's going to open up some good stuff later if you ever get the flu or the dreaded C crap. But this will definitely kick it out of you. Okay, so in goes your horseradish. Take your spoon, get it out of your funnel. And then we're just going to put these over on the cutting board. Okay, next up, we're just going to give that a good layer like that. Give it a good shake so it's kind of even through your, through your, down at the bottom. So you got a nice little layer. Next, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put in my red onion. Now this you could probably use your hand for. Until you think you can pour it. My bowl's pretty full. That way you can break them up if you need to. This is why you have a paper towel to catch any that should fall. Beautiful. Okay, that goes with the, there you go. Next will be, got to keep this close by so I can, we are going to go ahead and put the ginger in, okay? In goes the ginger. Don't be afraid to use your fingers to get all that off your bowl or your spoon. You may have to put your finger in there in the funnel to get most of that to fall. Now it's starting to look like a nice little layer. See? You want it to spread it out a little. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and start layering some of our citrus, and then we're going to add the garlic. You know, we'll go ahead and add the garlic now. We'll put all the warmy stuff except for the peppers. Some of the garlic, and we saved a few garlic for later with the peppers. That way, it'll be like in between. Okay, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to open up our cranberries. Now, these are fresh cranberries, organic cranberries, and we are going to add get your measuring cup out. You need either a cup or half cup. We are going to put at least a half of a cup of cranberries. So I'm just going to hold it over there so in case some fall through. And this is a nice heaping cup full, you know, of cranberries. You want to add those antioxidants for sure. There we go. Now we can start adding in, we'll need that spoon and measuring in a little bit. So now we're going to take our fruit. We're going to add some orange. Now we could take our funnel off for right now too. Because we can, if you got a big jar like this, you can just put your hands in there. And you'll want to spread out your orange, lemon, and your lime. And we're just going to alternate this as we need to. Okay? That way you'll have a colorful as a colorful layer. You want all your citrus, because we're going to save the dry goods for up top. So that way we'll have a way to put all of our dry parts during the top. There we go. Get my napkin. Okay, now in goes. Let me dry my hand a little, and then I'm going to set my bowl to the side. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Huh? All layered beautifully. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to top this top part with our garlic, rest of our garlic and our hot peppers. Just use your finger, you know, to get those few little seeds in there and move them around so that they all have a spot to kind of be like together. There we go. Okay. Okay, now we have all of our hard, wet, we have our wet ingredients, and now we're going to start adding in our dry ingredients. So we'll need our funnel back to go ahead and just, I don't know, we might not. We'll try to go without it, because we already have the cranberries in there. So that was the hardest one. You'll need your we'll need a half a cup and a tablespoon, okay? So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our elderberries in, because we need a half of a cup of dried elderberries if you are putting in your elderberries. If you're not doing elderberries, then you'll just skip this step. Pour slowly, because they are awful tiny. A nice level half cup. And I'm just trying to, you know, scoot it all around. So there we go. Okay, that's the elderberry. Next up is our turmeric and our black pepper. First, we're going to do our turmeric. You'll definitely want to use a spoon for this. Try not to touch or you'll get your hands all nice and orangey. This we are going to put in 2, because of my jar size. If you're doing a quart jar, 1 tablespoon. I'm going to be, and a nice, you know, nice heaping size. I'm going to be doing 2, just like that, of turmeric root. And you can just kind of like spread it around, you know, that it's all into your, all through your jar. That way when you put your, when we put our apple cider vinegar, you know, you kind of like got it all stirred in there a little bit. So, okay, there's the turmeric root. And then we are going to put in 2 tablespoons of black pepper, level. Not going to heat that. Okay? Like just regular tablespoon of black pepper. Okay? That's ground black pepper. Our rosemary, we are going to put 2 tablespoons of rosemary, dried rosemary. If you have fresh, you can use, you know, a nice long sprig. If you just have fresh, it's fine. You can use that. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of beautiful rosemary. Okay. And that leaves us with the last part, because we're not putting our honey in until it's done infusing over the next 4 weeks. We'll put the honey in last. So that's it for the rosemary. So that leaves us with, we need our lid, our wax paper, and of course, all that leaves us is our apple cider vinegar. I'm going to use this little bit that's left, and I think I'm going to use this jug because I really want this jug. I want to use this jug for later, so I'm going to use that. It's organic too. This one's organic, so as long as, and they both have the mother. I don't care who makes it, as long as it's organic. So we're going to take that off of there. And then we'll be able to, I don't know if I can get the rest of that off. Would like to. Well, maybe not right now. See if I can get it open. Good deal. All right, we're going to give them both a good shake because the mother is at the bottom, so you want to give it a good shake. So now comes the fun part. You're going to make sure and see how we left enough space for your stuff to get saturated and pull. And you'll have enough room up here when it starts to float up. You'll have your wax paper and it won't touch your lid. So this is what you want. You want a nice jar, and we're going to go ahead and fill. So now get your vinegar and start pouring in and covering all of your goodies. Woohoo! This emptied that jar for me. Isn't that great? I'll be able to use that for my homemade apple cider vinegar that I have on the counter brewing. So this will be my new apple cider vinegar jar. Yay. Okay, well mine is right there. So thank goodness we have enough to add a little more to my, because I have to have it covered. Wow, look at that. Just that teeny little bit. All the way mine went. And that leaves me enough for, you know, to put in for some salad. So now, if you wanted to, you don't have to stir, okay? You don't. You can, but it's best that you put it on top in a warm spot, not in the sun. You can use your refrigerator on top of your refrigerator, as long as you can get up there, you know, and a nice warm spot for the next 4 weeks. So the only thing I'm going to do, I should have brought my bamboo stick, but I am going to try to get the air bubbles out. Just so you want to make sure all your fruit is below the rim and that you have all your air bubbles out. Woo, I can smell already. Beautiful. So just make sure that they're all covered. And you have plenty of, I may have enough space in there for that little bit. Yep. Woo! How about that? That took all of that vinegar. But it's right here to that one first rim, so it's fine. So we're going to make sure everything is covered really good. No air bubbles, okay? Okay, and you're going to put your tight lid now. Mine's a plastic. They tend to leak, but I don't have a metal lid, so I'm going to have to be careful when I shake mine. But this is why you use this if you're using a metal lid. Let me see. Like if you're using a quart jar with a metal lid like that, you would take it off. Okay. You would put your plastic wax paper first. Okay. Then your metal lid. And then screw this down really tight, like so. That way, you will be able to go like this. Okay? You need to shake not vigorously, but give it a, mix. At least once a day. Okay? So keep it on on top of the refrigerator, because it's warm up there. It prefers a more warm area to pull all the goodies. Yeah, and that way you can, or if you have a warm spot on your counter, maybe that's near the window, but not in the sun. If you have that, if that's better for you, you can do that. But put it where it is, you're going to be able to see it so that you know to do that. And it's very important that you shake it at least once a day. But we're going to put our plastic wax paper, or whatever you want to call it. I call it wax paper, plastic. Well, it's not really plastic, it's wax paper. Don't use parchment paper because that seeps through. You'll want your wax paper, and then we are going to put our lid on, and then I'm going to screw down my lid as tight as I can go without hurting anything. Now, I know your list is long, like mine, full page. Keep that, your list of what you used in where your recipes are. But for your label for here, just get a Post-it note or something and just put Fire Cider vinegar, Fire Cider, the date that you made it, okay? And then look up 4 weeks from the date that you made it, put ready, and then the date. And then that's the date that you need to go and strain out all of your goodies. You'll take your big bowl, you'll put your strainer on there, and you will take your contents and you will dump all the stuff out and keep the juice. Put all the fruit and all of that. If you have chickens or a flock, you could feed it to them. If you do not, that's fine. Put it on your compost pile. The earth will love you for it, and your garden will. So this is where we are today, and I'm so excited. And you will see this baby is heavy. This is my half-gallon jar of my beautiful Fire Cider. And I'm so excited to been able to come today and share it with you guys. And hey, if you made it along with us, put a comment below. Let me, or if you plan on making it later, let me know. Will you be making it this way, or will you be adding in different ingredients? If so, let us know. But this is a beautiful blend. I think it's going to be great for over the winter. And you most certainly, it will get a good reddish purple because of the cranberries and the elderberries that are in there this year. So I gave it a little more extra. You know, you just felt like, wow, we may need an extra boost this year. So, you know, with everything that was going on, you know, the past couple. So we don't want any of that. So, but we want to be ready. So guard yourself, get your fire cider made, and be ready by Thanksgiving, or the end of Thanksgiving, or the end of November. And thanks for stopping by. And hey, stay healthy this winter. We'll see you soon before all that gets here. But we're going to be ready with our fire cider. Hey, God bless you. Thank you for stopping. And stay healthy and safe. And be blessed. We'll see you soon.